Hello, YouTube. I'm not going to edit this video because I don't really want to rewatch it in editing, so this is going to be very stream of conscious, very much like just straight up me talking to you as if you were actually here type of video. So you can probably tell by the title, because I think I'm going to title this stopping my medication or something like that, something along that. um I I haven't really thought this video through too much. I just thought about it last night and I was like, okay, I need to film it today. And before then I honestly hadn't even thought that I was going to do a video. So if you guys don't know, I had extremely severe cystic acne about 3 years ago, four, something like that. And I've been cystic acne free for like 2, or 1.5, somewhere around there, 2, probably actually 2, I think, maybe a little over 2. Anyway, so I haven't had cystic acne in a while. Having this acne was the whole reason that I started my blog and then eventually started making videos on YouTube. And the whole reason I ended up having cystic acne, I'd never had like any crazy breakouts in high school, but after high school, my first year of college, I just exploded with acne. And it turns out it was because I had crazy high levels of testosterone and then the other male hormone, I totally forget which one that is. I think it starts with an A, but anyways, but my testosterone levels were insanely high. The acceptable level for females, I believe, is in the 0 to 10 parts per million range. 10 still being like, okay, that's a lot of testosterone, you might want to check that out. And I was at like a 14.7, I believe. So once I figured that out, I had the option of either going on birth control or spironolactone, which I believe you still have to go on birth control when you're on spironolactone, because I think if you get pregnant during that, it's not great. So I ended up going just the birth control route, and I have been on birth control since August of 2014, I believe. 2014, yeah. So it has been over 2 years. Yeah, so and my acne started going away very, very quickly. I would say within 2 months it was almost completely gone. And I've been on birth control ever since because I've looked into it and I've talked with my doctor about it. And there's no real way to know how your body is going to react when you get off of this birth control, which is controlling your hormones. I have had my hormones checked since then, and they are within healthy levels for the testosterone and the other one. But I really should know what I'm talking about, like for the other one. But anyways, testosterone I know was the main one that was crazy high. And yeah, so I went on birth control. Within 2 months, my acne was pretty much cleared up. And like I said, there's no real way to know how your body's going to react. And if you can go off of birth control, like there's no way to test for that. Like you don't know until it's literally, this is the thing too I've always said about acne, is it's so trial and error, because nobody can know exactly what is causing your acne. So of course it just goes into, goes back to that, like it's just trial and error. Like there's no way to ease off of birth control, because every pill is for a certain day so that it maintains your levels. So I've stopped birth control for about a week now. I've been birth control free. And I've also stopped Zoloft. I did a video about my depression and anxiety that I've been dealing with since middle school. But I finally decided to get help for it last year. And I went to a therapist and she put me on Zoloft. You know, after a good while of seeing me, she realized that I did need to go on Zoloft. I was only on 25 milligrams, so half of a pill, half of a 50 milligram pill, which is not a lot, but I feel like my body is just very sensitive to anything. So, yeah, I tried to go up to 50 because she was like, oh, you should just try it just to see how your body, like my body, it was night and day between non-Zoloft and Zoloft. It helped my anxiety and depression so much. Like, and a lot of my anxiety was social anxiety, and then I had kind of like a PTSD reaction. I didn't have PTSD, I can tell you that, because I've never had anything traumatic happen in my life. But it was like at night I would have a weird kind of, that's the only way she could describe it, is like a lot of people have PTSD, like get night terrors. You know, if you hear a noise in the night, my like mind automatically went to someone's gonna murder my dad, or someone's gonna murder someone in this house. You know, it was extreme, and I couldn't sleep, and I suffered with insomnia off and on. So Zoloft helped amazingly, just 25 milligrams too, but I struggled with nausea and dizziness. It got to the point where I couldn't, if I was not driving a car and I was just a passenger in a car, I would get so extremely car sick. It was horrible. I would have dizzy spells. I accidentally skipped my Zoloft 2 days in a row, and on the third day when I took it again, I got so dizzy that I worked early in the morning, came home, like it was a horrible day at work too. I was just like, so it felt like my head was in a fishbowl and someone was shaking the fishbowl like this, like in a whirlpool, and that's how my head felt all day. So I came home, and I think I got off at like 10. So I came home after 10 and laid in my bed till about 6:30 when my mom got home. And like it was so bad. Like the results from the Zoloft were so amazing, but these side effects were crazy. So I decided about a month ago that I was gonna stop that. So I've stopped that before I stopped birth control. And with Zoloft, I was having like side effects of weaning myself off of it. About 3 weeks afterwards, I was still insanely dizzy all the time, or it would come in waves. Like I would have some days where it was just like, no, I couldn't stop spinning, like my head wouldn't stop spinning, and then I would have days where it would just like pulsate in and out, you know. So I stopped that about a month ago. I've been feeling fine anxiety wise, like nothing unmanageable. I feel like though the depression is a little bit, it's kind of easing its way back into my life. So I'm trying to be more proactive about it this time and be more vocal about it. You know, I feel like my parents are the best ones to help me with that. I haven't seen my counselor in like a month or two, but I don't feel like I'm at the point where I need to see her, you know. So, you know, my parents are in the know that I am stopping both of these. And like I said, I'm trying to be more proactive about the depression aspect this time around. Oh my gosh. I was like kind of thinking through this video last night, like briefly, and I started tearing up. So I'm hoping that I can get through this without crying. I am wearing waterproof mascara though. So, yeah. So I'm trying to be more proactive about it and like keep people in the know. I'm probably going to talk to my parents today about this. I don't know. I wanted to make this video because this has been a huge part of my journey, and I would like to keep a record of not so much the Zoloft, like going off of that. I don't think that's too big of a thing, but going off of the birth control. Like I said, it's been about a week, and I am insanely nervous and anxious about this. My gosh. But I feel like, you know, I have like a fresh pack of birth control ready to go, you know, when I can, if things go wrong. I'm hoping so bad that something will have changed in in my body, and that I won't go back to producing the same levels of oh my gosh, I should not be crying about this. This is not like, I don't know, I guess maybe it's just been such a big part of my life. I mean, I have struggled with anxiety and depression, like I said, since middle school, but this, about a year of my life where I had insane acne, made a huge impact on the depression and the anxiety. Like I said, it's always been bad, but I think that kind of sent me in a downward spiral with the depression. So it's scary. I know in my head, like, I won't ever let myself get to that point where I'm like, where my skin's that bad, because I do know what I can do to fix it. But it's just hoping that my body is going to, will have changed or whatever, and maybe I've gotten used to these past 2 years on birth control where my hormones have been maintained. It's just scary thinking about it, you know, and like, this is the thing too that I've always tried to explain to people about depression and anxiety is, and I feel like too, I'm an extremely logical person, so like, even when I was dealing with both of these things, it was like I could rationalize it, like, why are you feeling anxious about this, or why are you depressed about this, like, this is why you shouldn't, but your brain won't let you think rational. Your brain on depression and anxiety is, it's sick, basically. You cannot, no matter how much one side of your brain can rationalize it, the depression side, the anxiety side, will not see that rationale. And so, you know, part of coping with anxiety and depression is retraining your brain to not go down those paths, to stay on the logical paths, I guess. At least for me, I cannot speak for everyone. I can only speak for myself, my own personal experience. But I feel like making these videos and talking about it, you know, when I was going through this, I had no one to talk to. Like, no one, like, even with the acne, my parents never had acne. Even the tiniest breakouts, like, never. So for me to go through this, the whole reason I started my blog was so that I could share my story and that other people would not feel alone like I did. So that's why I'm sharing all this. So yeah, this is week 1-ish. I don't remember exactly when I stopped, but it's probably been about a week. And I'm just hoping that I won't have to be, the whole reason I'm would like to stop birth control is because there is no scientific research on the long-term effects of being on birth control. And eventually, I may not be able to take birth control. Who knows? Like, there's literally so little research about long-term, the consequences of being on birth control for long-term. And I have never been a person who really I don't want to be on pills for the rest of my life. I don't want to have to deal with that. So that's why, and one of the reasons why I want to stop. So I'm just hoping that I won't have to start up, but I'm putting this video out here as like a checkpoint, kind of, to be like, okay, this is me about a week out from being off of birth control, and I'm about a month out of being off of Zoloft, and this is where I am in my life, and my hope is that I won't have to be on either of them again, and I guess I'm not allowing myself to think about if I do have to go back on them. But yeah, so that's kind of what I've been dealing with right now, currently in my life. Let me know if you've had to be on birth control for acne. You know, I would love to hear other people's experiences. I'll probably search YouTube after this to see if there's any videos about anyone talking about their experience, because A, I want to know like what the success rate is, and B, I would like to not feel so alone in this. But yeah, so that's where I am right now. This is what I'm going through, and yeah, I will be posting, I'll try to post videos like updating you guys on this. But yeah, so I'm just hoping right now that I won't have to go back on birth control or Zoloft. But I mean, I guess the main thing right now is birth control, because I feel like I can live without Zoloft, but I can't live with acne. I can't go back to that. So I'll give you guys a close-up. I'm only wearing like mascara and eyebrows right now. So this is where my skin's at. There's a lot of hyperpigmentation and scarring, as usual. I have a breakout there. This one might be something coming up. I had one here. This has been here for a good while now, but it was a breakout. That one here. I have some red dots from up here from a while ago, and I believe there's one right here. Very tiny. But that is where I'm at right now. This one was very deep, but that came up before I stopped birth control. So I'm gonna keep my eye on this. I'll keep you guys updated. And if you guys have any advice or any stories you would share with me, that would be amazing. You can leave them down in the comments below, and I'll try, and if I find any videos similar to this, I'll link them down below. So if you stumbled across this because you're going through something like this, you can watch them. Hopefully there are some, but it's YouTube. There's videos about everything. So I'm hoping that I'm not the only person that has done this. I can't be. If I am, then we have a problem. So I will see you guys later. Thank you so much for watching. Fingers crossed that this all works out.